There are two primary reasons why Islam does not save anybody. The first reason is that although they revere Jesus Christ as a prophet, they have robbed him of his deity. What I mean by that is they have robbed him of his divine nature. He's only a prophet. But yet the Quran says that it affirms the scriptures that are before it. That the Quran affirms the Jewish and Christian scriptures. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth, because the Quran says that Jesus is only a prophet. And yet in the Gospel of Mark chapter 2, we find Jesus, the Son of Man, forgiving sins. Christians and Muslims will agree that only God can forgive sins, and yet Jesus Christ in the Gospels is forgiving sins. So the first reason, of course, is that Islam does not save is because Muslims do not have the correct Jesus. They do not have the right Jesus. And that should be no surprise, because we see that Muhammad comes along like 600 years later and says that he has the right understanding of who Jesus is. He says, of course, to believe in his revelations. But the point is, we have the gospel accounts that go back to the first century when Jesus lived, and yet Muhammad says that he's got the right thing. He's got the right understanding. But why in the world would anybody want to actually trust in somebody who comes 600 years after Jesus? And the second reason Islam does not save is because they have no concept of atonement. Atonement is payment for sins. Now, with regards to what the scriptures say in the New Testament, it says, without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins, in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 22. So if there is no shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins, because the wages of sin is death. So Islam has no forgiveness of sins because they reject the atonement, and they have no concept of the atonement. Why? Because they don't have any concept with regards to the crucifixion of Jesus, whenever the Quran in Surah chapter 4, verse 157 and 58 rejects that Jesus died by crucifixion. So I'm saying once again that Islam cannot save because it does not have the correct Jesus, and it does not have any concept of payment for sins. So therefore, Islam cannot save anyone.